Hey guys, welcome back to the stage. And it is Mortal Kombat time. Apparently it is in fact X, not Mortal Kombat 10. So these are important things to get right. Now I'm joined on stage by Ed. Ed, it's a pleasure to have you here.
It's good to,
it's been great. It was great to see Mortal Kombat on the press conferences as well.
Yeah.
I always love those, like, the CGI, the really violent, brutal CGI trailers you put together.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to have a live demo. So we got two guys through the back who are going to beat each other up. So let's jump straight to the gameplay now, and you can talk me through what's happening. We'll talk about what's new in Mortal Kombat X, lots of things like that.
Yeah, so we brought 6 characters to E3 here, and 4 of them are brand new to the Mortal Kombat universe. And then we have our kind of staple Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
So Devora, she's like this weird spider bug lady, right?
Yeah, she's half insect, half human, and she has all these moves related to, with her stingers. And it's one of our more unique fighting combatants. Ferrator is another one,
right?
Which is this kind of big monster with a little lady on his shoulders who gives him commands.
She's kind of controlling him. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So and then of course.
You got the classics.
Cassie Cage is Johnny Cage.
Now this is new, isn't it? Just to cut in here, you've got this variation.
Yeah, that's
our
new character variations. Is every character in the game has 3 versions, all of which play differently from each other. So they have unique moves, unique strategies and whatnot. So a matchup in a character is in this game is much more variables than just Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. It's Sub-Zero A versus Scorpion C.
Yeah.
So it's very, very wide range of characters.
And so it's not just aesthetics then, these variations. So how does it change it? Is it your different moves you can do? Or
yes,
whatever?
Exactly. Yeah, there's a number of unique moves that each variation has that the other ones don't. You notice Scorpion right here, he has these swords on his back. Only that version of Scorpion has swords on his back, and he can use them in combat for a number of his attacks. So you're going to see him swinging the sword there, so it's like only that version of Scorpion can do it. Whereas Ferrator fights with this little lady on his back, and he uses her, he can swing her in attacks, and he can use her as a projectile as well.
That's a projectile.
So there's a lot of, and when he gets hit, she gets knocked off.
Oh yeah, I see you tried to club Scorpion with her there. Right.
Yeah, and so she gets knocked off, and then she jumps right back on his shoulder. So right now she just stabbed him. That's called a pain and gain move. And so he starts bleeding, taking damage, but he's inflicting way more damage. So it's a bit of a risk-reward type of thing.
Gotcha. So what else is new then? Apart from these variations, what else have you brought new for Mortal Kombat X?
The environments are playing a bigger role than they have in Mortal Kombat in the past. You can actually use them for what we call environmental leveraging. So on the left there, you'll notice that you can see Scorpion just long jumped over this one of those pier things. And it allows you to, strategically position yourself into an area that you are more useful for. You're going to notice this hook over Ferrator. He can actually jump up and swing,
there he goes.
Attacking there. So you notice the C will bring up a dead body occasionally. You can grab that out of the air and throw it at your opponent.
Oh, right, yeah, I think I saw that in the press conversation.
Yeah. So on the left side here, you see Scorpion ran up the wall, kind of getting yourself out of the corner. So that layered on top of the character variations, layered on top of Mortal Kombat 9's, meter with the X-ray and all that stuff, we really feel is our kind of deepest one.
All right, come on, finish your move. I want to see this.
Yeah, hopefully we can get
this
cool fatality with tandem fatality there.
That's pretty brutal. That is, okay. That's going to hurt. Wow.
Yeah,
my
so
God.
That's kind of like next-gen fatalities.
Yeah, so here's what I want to know. I'm going to be scared if the answer is you, but who comes up with these brutal fatalities? Where do these ideas come from? Whose twisted mind?
Yeah.
If it's you, I'm scared of you now.
We have fatality meetings. We have,
really?
It's probably the funnest meeting that we have at work.
So what's by 9 o'clock? Oh, you got a fatality meeting.
Exactly,
Okay,
So people come into a room with little pieces of paper with stick figure things, or they'll get a reference from a movie, or they'll do all or they stand up and kind of act it out. And so it's always
dangerous.
fun to Yeah, and then I have to be the bad guy. Like if somebody crosses a line, I kind of like, we
where
can't
is that
do that,
line?
you guys.
I guess it's because like, I mean, I'm sure there is a line, but it's not obvious where it is because you guys will do most things.
It's just, I don't know, it's just like a gut feeling you kind of get. Like, that some of the stuff that we've done, we've wondered about, but there have been a number of things that have been presented that, we just kind of couldn't do.
Can you mention any of the ones that didn't make the cut?
Pardon?
Could you like tell us any of the ones what didn't make it?
No,
make the cut?
they're so bad that I don't even like talking about them.
Okay,
so
wow, that's pretty bad.
yeah.
Man, next time you have a fatality meeting, I want to come along. That sounds great. So so we've got Devorah. She's the kind of spider half insect lady. And which variation is this?
This Devorah, this is called Broodmother, and
it's called what? Sorry.
Broodmother. You can tell. You can see on the top left
of course,
is the name of them, and you could tell visually. You could tell which one it is because she doesn't have the hood on, and so each variation has something. You notice Sub-Zero there on his Grandmaster one. He has that medallion on him, and you could tell from there like which variation of the character it is. Earlier, you noticed that they picked up the old lady who's just kind of hanging out. You can use her as a projectile as well. So Sub-Zero here uses the opponent's entrails, freezes them, and kind of jabs them in their eye there.
That made the cut. Really, I'm really glad that made the cut. Grab the entrails, freezes them, and then stabs him in the eye.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So those we always have these big kind of fun moments in the game, but on top of it is we're adding these really cool. The variations really add to the depth of the.
So
are
there a ton more X-ray attacks and finishers in X?
I'm sorry.
Have you added a ton more like X-ray attacks and finishers?
Do we have a ton more?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is a great kind of ending to this fatality.
What
as well.
happened? What did she do?
The bugs kind of ate away at their skin, and then she steps on the head.
That'll do it. That'll do it. All right. Fantastic. So what do you guys like? What are you guys doing in terms of narrative? Can you talk at all about narrative in Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat's our last few games actually, Mortal Kombat and Injustice have had really elaborate kind of single player campaigns where the player kind of fights through all the battles and determines the story going forward. And we're going to continue in that vein with this game, but this game covers a number of time periods. It has elements from the right after MK9. It has 5 years ahead, 15 years ahead, 25 years ahead. So you see things like Cassie Cage, which is Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade's daughter, and you get an idea of that dynamic of her and. So it's really cool in that we're not necessarily telling the story linearly. We're doing in periods of time, and so it's great to see the characters kind of maturing over time.
So you guys have got the stamina bar this time around as well, right?
I'm sorry?
You guys have got the stamina bar this time around.
Yes.
So is this new? How does this work?
Yeah, there's a number of things that you can do in addition in this game that you couldn't do in it before. One of them is running. You can actually run into your opponent.
Okay.
And so we use the stamina bar as a way to limit, so you can't just be running all over the place infinitely.
And that's the bar we see kind of filling up along the bottom
exactly.
there. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
So there's new mechanics that are in the game that you couldn't do in the last one, and it's kind of like a way to regulate it.
So what is this? What are we running this on right now? Which hardware are we playing this on?
Right now, I think this is the PS4 version, and this version, it's great. It runs at full 1080p, 60 frames a second. So you get a lot. Easily our most sophisticated presentation that we've had in a Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, that was really brutal.
Yeah, his X-rays pretty nasty.
So what's this War God version of Kodokan enable him to do?
I'm sorry.
It's quite light on stage here. What's the War God version like? How does that change Kotal Khan's abilities?
Kotal Khan, yes. This version of Kotal Khan, he has this gigantic sword on his back, and he uses that a lot in combat. The other two variations don't have that sword. So again, it gives him a slew of moves that he can perform just in that variation. A little bit more reach than he normally has.
So I was reading that this time around you've actually increased the combat speed a little bit of Mortal Kombat X. Is that right?
Yeah, it plays a little bit faster than the last Mortal Kombat game did, and then again, it's a lot more variety of things that can happen with the matchups and variations.
Yeah. Cool. Now, guys, if you're watching at home right now and you have any questions, then as always, the best way to do that is to tweet at me at CamFrazRob. The Twitter handle will be on screen any second. That's CamFrazRob. There it is. And now let's see this fatality. Here it comes. Bullet to kneecaps, to the heads. Oh, this isn't going to end well. Double gum? What? Wow. That's, yeah. How'd you come up with that? Who was like, and we'll throw in this bubblegum at the end?
That one wasn't mine. That was one of our designers came up with that one.
So what's your favorite one? What's the one you're most proud of?
My favorite one is the one I came up with.
Of course. And what is that? What is that?
It's
and can we see it actually?
It's Scorpions. I think we've seen it in the gameplay trailer that had been released.
In case some people are watching at home haven't actually seen it, can we get Scorpion involved? Or we've got Sub-Zero now?
I guess we can, but they might have to back out of it there.
Yeah, if we can back out, that'd be great. I'll just check Twitter to see if you have any more questions. But what's it like being back at E3 with a new Mortal Kombat game?
It's very exciting. When we released the trailer video, which was more of like an announced trailer, it was exciting just because of the response was ridiculous. We had 7 million views in just a few days, and then we did the gameplay one, which answered a lot of questions as far as the details of gameplay, and the response has been bigger than I could have even hoped for. So it's just so exciting to see people excited about Mortal Kombat.
And speaking of response, we've got loads of questions coming over Twitter already, so I'm going to throw some of these at you. That's okay, Ed?
Absolutely.
So first up, we have, this is a good one, are there different fatalities for each archetype?
We thought about that, but I think we really wanted to give everybody a chance. Every character is going to have multiple fatalities, but we really wanted to have them accessible to everybody.
Okay, very good. That question's been asked again. Okay, does Ed Boon voice any of the new characters shown here?
Well, I'm still the voice of Scorpion, the Get Over Here and all that, but a lot of the stuff in the story mode and all that is professional actors now, and I'm not a professional actor.
Well, I don't know, man. Your Scorpion's pretty good. What else we got here? Okay, what ninjas are going to be in Mortal Kombat X? That's a question from
unfortunately,
Bramford.
the only ones we can confirm at the moment are Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I would be surprised if there was no more than that in the final roster.
So do you have a favorite character, Ed? I gotta ask this question.
My favorite character is Scorpion. It always has been. I guess I think that's there's a lot of history with that character, and I'm the voice of Scorpion. So
fair enough. Yeah, I'd be the same. just checking Twitter again, see what else we got coming in. Here we go. So talk me through this stage here. This is like the dead pirate ship stage or something. How does this fit into the narrative? Actually, you probably can't talk about that. It's kind of spoilery, but yeah, tell me about this stage.
This is the Cove, and it's one of our prettiest stages. The water really kind of shows off the whole next gen graphics that we couldn't do before, and it has a number of kind of opportunities that pose to the player. I guess we might see another fatality here.
All right, knife to the... Oh, he's opening him up. Yeah, that's a bit of minor surgery here. Classic heart removal. And then drinking the blood from the heart.
Yeah.
All right, that's a classic.
Yeah,
it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Yeah, that's a good one. So thinking about next gen, actually, how much has been working with this new hardware? What's it enabled you to do that you haven't been able to do with Mortal Kombat before, beyond just really nice visuals?
Yeah. We always considered just the entry point is a better visual presentation, and so as far as the character variations and things like that, I don't attribute them necessarily to next gen, but I do think of them as a necessary step that we have to take with every game. We really want to introduce something new that hasn't been done before, and kind of separates it from the previous version of Mortal Kombat. There were a number of features that people really liked: the meters with the breakers, the enhanced moves, the X-ray, and we layered on top of that with the variations in the backgrounds and leveraging yourself. We really feel like this is going to be the kind of deepest gameplay mechanic that we've had.
Can we talk about multiplayer at all? Are you guys talking about multiplayer at this point?
We are. Obviously, we're going to have an online component, and we're going to have a number of online modes. One of which, we're not giving out a lot of details, but it is a persistent online game that everybody's going to participate in. So we're really excited about giving details later about that. Yeah. And so it's going to be something that you're going to be wanting to participate in. Everybody will be part of it. And I'd love to give more details now, but it's going to be cool.
Okay, well, make sure you come and tell us when you do. We want to know. Tell me about. I want to know what does a Swarm Queen allow Devora to do? Is it how'd you pronounce her name? Devora, is that right?
Devora, okay. Yes.
So what's the Swarm Queen variation?
She's like the projectile version, and
right.
she has a number of she could send this bug along the ground to attack the opponent. She can throw this bug. So she's all about
throwing bugs.
Distance and projectiles and keeping distance where they're all of them have she has the stingers that you can use, and the Ferratora on the right, the girl isn't, or the lady isn't riding on top of her. She's just kind of standing on the side as a cheerleader, so he becomes more of like a more classic brawler, something like like a Solomon Grundy from Injustice, or a big brooding character, and he doesn't have the projectile moves where he throws the lady at him.
So adding these 3 different variations of each character, that must have made it quite difficult for balancing. I mean, how are you tackling that problem?
Well, we're definitely going to get kind of like the Pro Evo, MLG, all those players in the studio.
Brilliant.
They're going to be beating on the game and showing us helping us balance it as much as possible. With 3 variations of characters, as exciting that is, that also comes with it is the added challenge of balancing all those variations of characters together.
So it's some more wonderful bone crushing there, and yep, through the eyes. Wow. How did she get back up? Well, I'm just going to go back to Twitter and just see if we got any more questions, because okay, so we've got a couple of questions. So what about storyline? Like, how does it tie in? So if you like played all the way through Mortal Kombat 9, and how are they going to tie in together?
The story does have scenes that are very close to the end of MK9, but it also jumps ahead 5 years, jumps ahead 10 years, 15, 20 years, and so it's not told in just a linear way. There's jumping back in time and whatnot. So it is going to elaborate and give a lot of history as to like what happened to the characters afterwards and what happens on a long-term basis to the characters too.
Got a ton more questions on Twitter here, Ed. Do you mind if I just throw some more at you? Because these are the fans, and these are the big questions they've got. Now, this one might be one you can't answer, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway. So Alex is asking, who is Sub-Zero? He was Cyborg last time, and he said, ask Ed, please.
Yeah, as anybody who's really kind of followed the Mortal Kombat story, Sub-Zero is part of Lin Kuei clan, and he is one of many Sub-Zeros. So there have been Sub-Zeros who've died. There have been other ones come back. So it's not the representation of Sub-Zero has been a number of different people, and the story mode will tell you exactly which one this is.
Okay. So Jason wants to know, is Conquest mode back?
Is Conquest mode back?
Yeah.
Not in this version.
No. Okay. It's a good one. Now, so a lot of people are wondering about characters, and I know you only revealed these 6 so far, but maybe you can hint here. Like, Mortal Kombat in the past have obviously brought in, like you've had Kratos, you've had Freddy Krueger. Can we expect any like cameo type characters?
I think there's a very decent chance that we're going to have some guest characters.
Okay.
In Mortal Kombat 9, the Freddy Krueger download character was the highest selling of all of them.
Really?
So yeah. And in Injustice, the guest character being Scorpion was the highest selling of all those. So that's obviously people are kind of voting with
People
their.
want, people want to see it. So
yeah.
that sounds pretty hopeful. I think we could say that. Oh yeah, are there going to be any stage fatalities?
Very likely. Very likely.
Oh wow! So freezing of the chest cavity, reaching in, breaking the spinal column, and then ripping the person in half. That's not possible. I don't believe that's possible.
A lot of them.
I don't think you're a real doctor, are you?
No, a lot of them aren't possible. Yeah.
All right, what else we got? Loads of questions coming in. Are there going to be any unlocking in Mortal Kombat X? So, like Crypt was in Mortal Kombat 9.
Unlocking what?
So is there going to be anything you can unlock? I think any unlockables. I think is what he's saying. So like Crypt was in Mortal Kombat 9.
Well, we haven't announced what the actual feature is, but I can't imagine a Mortal Kombat game without unlockable items.
Okay.
So
how about brutalities? Are they going to be in this one?
There will be another ality. I could say that with all. Well, it could be brutality, it could be babality, it could be friendship or something like that. There'll
be some sort of alities
there will be
there.
one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about variations one more time. So you mentioned you didn't decide to give variations their own specific fatalities, but does it change like X-rays to open up new X-ray moves and things like that?
No, it doesn't change the X-ray move, but it changes their special moves quite a bit dramatically. Like there's a whole series of moves that one. It's mainly for the combat, the moment-to-moment combat. Fatalities and X-rays. While the attack is used, a lot of it is the visual wow of it all.
And a couple more questions here. So, someone's just really pleading for us to show Scorpion's fatality. See if we can make that happen. Oh yeah, let's see what we got here. That's actually not a very good question. It's just so many coming through, and a lot of them are the same. We're just trying to organize them through here. Okay, well, it's a question for Ed. Will Sonya's X-ray make the cut?
Will Sonya's X-ray make the cut?
Yeah.
Well, Sonya hasn't been announced, so I suppose I guess I couldn't confirm or deny it.
Was there anything new that we've not really covered so far in Mortal Kombat X you really want to talk about? You've mentioned the stamina bar, we've got the different variations of characters. Like, what else are when people are thinking about picking this game up, what's it going to offer them?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's 6 characters here, and each has 3 variations, so there's actually 18 variations of the characters here. Cassie Cage right here, she has the Spec Ops one, and she can call missiles in from the sky, that attack the player. And so, again, all these kind of unique moves that just that one variation of the character uses. It's so much that we haven't even seen, that we even demonstrated yet. So that's what's so exciting. If a game has 25 characters, there's 75 versions of characters up in the game, and so the mixing of that. What I'm so excited about it is it just creates such a bigger palette. It's like giving an artist a canvas and giving them 5 colors and 5 brushes versus 100 colors and 100 brushes. It's just what players are going to do with these things is the most exciting to me with that.
Well, Ed, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you, having you on stage and showing off Mortal Kombat X.
Having us here.
It's been great. It's been pretty brutal. I feel a little bit sick, but it's a great way to end my time on the Samsung stage today. But don't go anywhere. I will be replaced by who's waiting in the wings. It's handsome man Danny O'Dwyer, the Irish legend. So he's going to be on stage. I'm going to go off and have a break, and I'll be back on the GameSpot stage later. So don't go anywhere. Danny will be in the seat with some more games. See you in a bit.